for Coach Bergen or Andi?
With John, with the Florida A&M, like the athletes they have and how they played, are they like a typical first round, or are they different from a typical first round team?
They've got athletes. They're coaches from Turkey, so they play an international kind of style of volleyball. They set one player really, really fast, probably the fastest tempo we've seen all year, a left side hitter. And they're running a 6-2, which a lot of teams do, and they run players all over. So they're probably not as refined as a lot of the Big Ten teams because they're running all these patterns and everything. So, but to do that, you got to pass. So the key for us will be, can we serve them and get them out of system all the time and take all that away? They do some nice things. They've got athletes, and they're. I mean, Merritt's already played them a couple times already, so they're very consistent being in the NCAA tournament, and they have a very cool nickname, the Rattlers, and we're 0-1 against them. So this can be pay for me. They weren't born yet, but for me, this is payback.
Bergen, after the SMU loss, there's a lot of talk of what you learned from that, how you move on, how it's a reset. After the Penn State match, what did you take from that match that you can use now in the postseason?
Yeah, I think we just learned a lot about ourselves, and just there's always going to be things we can get better at, and I think that we kind of went on a streak there where we weren't losing a lot of sets, didn't lose games for however many games it was, and so I think it was just kind of a reminder to ourselves to come in every single day, work every day, and that we're not invincible, and we're going to have to work really hard, and there's a lot of good teams this year. So I think it was good for us. I think that we needed a little gut check, and I think that it'll kind of propel us forward in the tournament.
Andi, now that you've been through the tournament once, how do you approach your second go-around going into the postseason?
I think the exact same. Obviously, postseason, we've talked about it. It's like the third season of season, and everyone's 0-0 now, and the game forgets. So, not that we're going to forget everything that we've done leading up to this point, but also at the same time, it doesn't matter that we had such an amazing season, like we were Big Ten champs. Everyone forgets it now because it's postseason, and so just going in with that mindset, the game forgets, and this is a brand new season. Everyone's 0-0.
Coach, talking about, the third part of the season, just what does the week look like from Sunday night till tomorrow night, just from a preparation standpoint?
Well, the great thing is when you're at home, we get to stay in our rhythm. So this was a normal week for us, playing a Big Ten week that we were playing on a Friday, Saturday, which we had a couple of those. So we're prepared for this. We know what it is. We know what it's like to go back to back. And for us, that's the beautiful thing about being at home. I'm hearing stories about all these charter problems and airline problems, and just think about you're trying to go, and there's matches already started today. Just think about those teams trying to, get to that school and play today. So it's routine for us, and we love routine.
And what have you seen different from the sophomores now this week, preparation heading into their second tournament?
I don't think it's been much different. Last year we were dialed in. This year they're dialed in. So I do feel like this group, we have maybe a little bit more of an edge to us than last year. Last year we were still this is kind of a fun Cinderella story, and this year there's definitely a little bit of an edge. But we're also 0-1 against the Rattlers, so. They're going to hear about. They've been hearing about it.
How many times has he brought that up this week?
I've heard it quite a few.
Too many to count.
Andi, you were one of 7 unanimous picks for the All Big Ten first team. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you, getting that kind of respect from around the conference?
It's huge, but I can't take all the credit. It's all to my teammates. I couldn't do it without them. Obviously, I don't pass, so huge shout out to my passers, and then to the setters like Bergen, I couldn't do it without her. So I can't take the credit for it. My team, my coaches, just like the support staff, it all goes to them. But it's a huge honor, and it was awesome receiving it.
Coach talked about hoping that Andi can will you guys to Louisville earlier this week. But for Bergen and Andi, can you guys talk about how excited you are to come back and play in front of your home crowd?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that there's no place like Nebraska, and getting to play at home is a huge advantage. And I don't know, having our fans behind us is just, we always love it. Running out just will never get old. And so I'm excited that we can hopefully have 4 rounds of the tournament here. And yeah, I think we're counting on our fans, and I think they got us.
I second that.
Bergen, Coach mentioned playing with an edge. Have you noticed that too, or where does that kind of come from? What's the driving factor behind that?
Yeah, I think just like you said, last year was almost like a magical ride, a Cinderella story. We have all these young girls, whatever. So we didn't really know what to expect. And this year we're kind of coming back, and we're trying not to necessarily compare it to last year, but we also have an edge from last year, and we know that we didn't finish the season on top like we wanted to. So I'd say there's definitely just a little bit of that. Like, we want to get back to the national championship, and we want to have a different outcome this year, but also not necessarily like letting last year get to us either.
Andi, what's been the conversations with Layla and Taylor, just like preparing for the NCAA tournament, and your guys, you know, the way last year ended, just approaching it with them?
Just instilling confidence in them and reminding them to have fun, because it sounds cheesy, but truly, if you're not having fun, then it's not worth it. And this is such an exciting time and an exciting point in season. And so just to enjoy it, because I think a handful of us might have lost that last season just because we put so much pressure on ourselves. And so going into this tournament, I know we really just want to have fun and enjoy it. And we have 5 seniors leaving. Yeah, I think I should know that. 5 seniors leaving, and so just really doing it for them and letting them enjoy it, and just trying to really just go out with a bang.
John, you said you told the players, comparing some of the stats and results from last year to this year, and you were better. Like, what you see in a match and what you feel, do you think you're better than last season?
I never feel it, just because focus on point by point, but that's why we do stats and everything. And this team's playing at the highest level of any team I've coached statistically, and our competition is better than it's ever been. So this group's shown that they can play at a really high level, and it's in every area, and how we evaluate and take stats. So they've done a tremendous job. I mean, you look at our serving, passing. Again, we're number 1 in the Big Ten in opponent efficiency. And, you know, I explained to them, okay, let's say you're in, you know, the SWAC conference. Okay, it might be pretty easy to have a great defensive team there. Look who we're going against. I mean, we're going against first-team All-Americans almost every week, and every night All-Americans. And to do that is really, really tough. And so I just think, you know, and we went through a Big Ten season up until the last weekend. We lost, you know, one of the last 5 sets, which if you told me that at the beginning of the year, I would say no way. I mean, I was saying we'd have to have the team of the century to go undefeated. And so they've proven it. And now it's new season, but everybody's 0-0. And like Andi said, the game forgets, and we've got to go out and prove it every night, every point.
Questions?
Bergen, South Dakota State's here. I mentioned you know a lot of them through your sister, and just perhaps what's it like to see those girls here in Devanian play this weekend?
Yeah, it's really cool. I hung out with a couple of them last night, but they're really excited to be here, and it's just kind of cool to see how excited people get to even just practice in Devani. Like, they were so excited for practice today because they got to be in Bob. So yeah, it just kind of reminds me like how special it is here and how good we have it, but I'm excited for them. They've had a really great season, so I think they could make some waves.
Did you play club with any of them out there? Who did
Yep.
you play?
Yeah, I played with Sydney Shetton in the middle, and then I played with Jocelyn Richardson, and then I played when I was younger with Katie Van Egdom, so quite a few.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you.